That boy been cheat on miss.
Bang, 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 boy, shit break. On the hard thing, out of Alabama, you can add next say.
Whoa, nah. What's the word? It's your boy, the Alabama Hitter, and you are now tuned in to Hit Squad TV. Off the rip, I need y'all to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell on the side to be notified on each and every time we decide to slide that way.
Well, squad, it seemed like that honeybee was right. We back in Memphis with it. Home of the most notorious law enforcement outfit in the country, MPD. Yeah, it's your boy Hitter, man. And what we talking about today is none other than Shundale Barnett and the circumstances that had landed him with no jail time, no probation, no nothing. This is a crazy set of circumstances because when you look at the big picture and in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion, Shundale Barnett did way more than Jamarcus Johnson. Got absolutely nothing. It was a misunderstanding, a mishap, a computer error. So we just brought him in and cleared up the error. Okay. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You ain't gonna get a second chance. With that being said, let's just go back down memory lane. Lock in with me and let's get to the brass tacks.
More big news at 4. One of the men involved in the death of young Dolph pleads guilty to accessory after the fact. Prosecutors say Jamarcus Johnson helped his half-brother, who's accused of actually killing the rapper, hide from authorities after the shooting.
WRAG's Kwamitra Wilburn was in the courtroom when that plea deal was made.
Prosecutors say Jamarcus Johnson had no role in the murder of Adolph Thornton Jr., also known as Young Dolph. They say he didn't come into the picture until about a week or so after the shooting.
Jamarcus Johnson had no involvement in the homicide before the murder. He had no involvement in the homicide during the murder.
Friday morning, Jamarcus Johnson pleaded guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact for his involvement in the death of young Dolph. Dolph was gunned down inside Makita's Cookies in South Memphis on November 17, 2021. Prosecutors say Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson were the gunmen. Prosecuting attorney Paul Hagerman says Jamarcus was pulled in after the shooting by Justin, his half-brother.
About a week or so afterwards, he took acts that helped his brother evade law enforcement.
Hagerman says Justin gave Jamarcus a car and cell phone, the same cell phone that Justin allegedly had with him before and during the murder.
His brother Justin would call the telephone and he'd place the telephone up to another telephone, and they would in essence trick Justin Johnson's federal probation officer into believing that Justin Johnson still had his cell phone and was still in Memphis, Tennessee.
Hagerman says Jamarcus also used the phone to facilitate phone conversations between Justin and Cornelius Smith after the shooting regarding money.
Okay, and that somebody else was referred to as Unc, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Jamarcus's attorney says at the time, his client did not know of his brother's alleged involvement in the death of young Dolph. He says many of the conversations were held in code.
There had not been any charges at that point in time. There wasn't a warrant out for his brother. I don't think he believed that his brother would be involved in something like that.
He says his client has been cooperative from the beginning. Prosecutors say Jamarcus handed over the cell phone and identified a picture of his brother wearing the same clothes as one of the shooters. He also agreed to testify against his brother if called. Ackerman says Dolph's family is confident justice will be served.
They're encouraged by the progress in litigation, and ultimately one day they want to see a trial on this thing, and they know this is a step toward that.
Jamarcus faces 6 to 12 years in prison. Reporting from 201, Kwame Wilborn, WREG, News Channel 3.
So here's what's next for Johnson. He's due back in court on August 10th. His attorney says his sentencing will more than likely be delayed until the entire case involving all of the defendants comes to a conclusion. As part of his agreement for cooperating, Johnson's bond was reduced to $25,000.
Okay, so now let's cut to the chase. This man, they claim he had no affiliation or knew anything about the murder of young Dolph beforehand, during, and was fooled afterwards. Oh man, straight drop pulled him into this scheme. His younger brother pulled him into the scheme, gave him a car and his cell phone, that hot ass cell phone that was used to call Juke Mims and, you know what I'm saying, Trayon Owens and all of these people to get the Mercedes-Benz. He did all of the facilitating between Drop and Cornelius Smith Jr. He has no previous criminal record. And even though he has no previous criminal record, he got on the stand and ratted out his own blood right in front of each and every one of our eyes. And they still gave him 6 years on paper. You mess up, you can go into the Tennessee Department of Corrections for 6 years. Now that's Jamarcus Johnson. Now let's go to Shundale Barnett. Shundale Barnett rented a vehicle for Straight Drop after this. Got him out the city. We all know the Drop was in the Metroplex. Drop was in DFW, yes, out in Dallas. Isn't that where Shundale Barnett set up shop after this whole ordeal? Okay. Not only did he rent him a car, he was in the car with him on the way to Indiana. They got arrested. They got sent to 2 separate facilities. Drop got extradited back to Memphis. Shundale Barnett went home. He's been on the run, so to speak, for the better part of the last 2.5 years. And then out of the blue, he's arrested in the middle of the night. Bring him in before the courts and drop all the charges and let him go back to Fort Worth. This is crazy. Now, I can go down a rabbit hole about MPD. We can go all the way back to the night that the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King lost his life in Memphis. Yes, there's a history. This is crazy, y'all. But I'm going to tell you something. Like I've always said, when it comes to karma going to spin that block. Karma is most definitely going to spin that block. And it don't matter if you do a day in jail. It don't matter if you don't do a day in jail, family. When it comes, it's coming. It don't care about an area code. It don't care about a high-rise apartment. It don't care if you ducked off in the trenches. When karma spin the bend, it's going to smack you. If you're deserving. Now, this can be an angle as well when it comes to this situation. And I tend to lean this way as well. Shundale Barnett, when they were on the run, when they were doing the race, came to his senses and said, listen, this ain't gonna end well. And somewhere in between Dallas and Indiana, he gave up the low. They bumped down, got him and Drop, never put them together in the same facility. Sent Drop back to Memphis, let him go. but they monitored him. And they kept him on the lam the whole time, just in case things didn't go the way they wanted it to go for this trial. After the trial, they brought him back into Memphis, dropped the charges in the middle of the night. Yeah, that's another angle. But it's crazy. Is that all there is to it? Some may say Shundale gave them more than the low. And that could be true. Shundale was in Miami when they planned this whole thing. So for them to say that he had no involvement beforehand is crazy work. It's crazy work. We know this. But like I said, karma does have its way, you know. And we just gotta sit back and look. Sit back and watch close. But I just wanted to give y'all my thoughts on this whole situation and, you know, where it's gone and where it's going to go. I still believe that there are more indictments on the horizon. And when they drop, when they unseal them folders, listen, we're going to be right here to read them. We're going to be right here to read them, Jack. So if you still rocking with me, y'all hit that like button. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching the video. And as always, until the next time we decide to spin, I'm in the wind. Long live Dolph, man. I'm gone.
This has been your boy, the Alabama Hitter. And if you're still rocking with me and you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, fam. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell on the side to be notified on each and every time we decide to slide. And until the next time we decide to spin, I'm in the wind. Salute to the hitters. That way. Yo.
Yeah.